chance to come here and be involved with everything. It's such a sick contest, and the fact that we got invited this year really says a lot for the sport, as well as for the women and what we're doing. So I'm really stoked.
I think it's really fun course. A lot of stuff to do, a lot of lines are possible. It's crazy, it's cool. I'm super excited. It will be a great weekend.
Also Nassmachen ist angesagt. Wir dürfen die Runde anfeuern, wenn wir das gut machen. Jahr aus Österreich. Der Gewinner der Qualifikation. Der ist nicht zu schade genug. Also schade, man braucht ja einen mit Expertise. Ja, und wer die Qualifikation gewonnen hat, im Wakeboard Park, ist sicherlich auch in der Lage, die Obstacles ordentlich nass zu machen. Warum macht er das nochmal, Wolfi? Erklär's nochmal. Nochmal genau, alle Obstacles müssen und sollte wirklich nass sein, damit das Brennen anständig ist.
What's up, guys? I'm Anna Nickstad. I'm here in Munich, Germany for MASH 2019, and this is the GoPro course. Really hard. It's a lot of fun.
So here is the start list for the women's semi-final. 6 women being cut down to 3. Julia Rick, arguably the most successful wakeboarder all time. Luca Glinski, Mary Rougier, and Freya, another German, Monika Dzinski, otherwise known as Momo, and then Anna Nickstad, the sole American in the field. So, Dave, it's pretty much the perfect day for wakeboarding here.
It is glorious, and it's all I think when I watch it is when it's that hot, it is almost nice to go for a little quick dip, and that's the beauty of wakeboarding. In hot countries, you're enjoying the kind of whole scenery as the hot weather, but also you can cool down in the water. So it definitely makes it a nice action sport.
Okay, kicking off with Julia Rick. I mentioned that she's one of the most successful wakeboarders ever, male or female, 9-time world champion.
Absolutely, 56 professional wins. Julia Rick's unstoppable there. As you can see, the little tail grab on the Nico feature coming into the kicker there. Heel side, front side 540. So taking it kind of easy, I'm going to say, because she would be a strong kicker rider. And they're going rail to rail, but unfortunately coming off a little bit early. So one of the kind of challenges we've spoken about is that the line tension, you're underneath the cable. So getting a full pull on every hit is actually really difficult. As you can see there, hitting a lot of different things, but being completely honest, probably not what she's looking for. But that is the beauty of this kind of setup. You get 2 runs, big old stale fish into the drop, coming up to the last feature there. 270 on, 270 off, just, gets away with it.
Only just. So Julia Rick, not quite a dry set of shorts to the finish. She got a little bit of a splash at the end there. Be interesting to see what the judges make of that.
It is. I mean, the judges are looking for a solid, strong run. They want tech stuff, they want style, and that's where Julia could suffer. She might not be as stylish as some of the rest of the panel who are yet to see, but you cannot doubt she is absolutely flawless. Everything's clean until that last hit, really.
Okay, yeah, as you said, though, you pointed out a couple of early get-offs.
Yeah, you can see there, and bouncing on her back, nearly taking out some of the crowd as well.
Couple of cablings. Luckily, we're still live and direct to you, despite the cable smash. So 44.66, that is the score that the women are going to be chasing. Format today is pretty simple. In the semi-finals, we've got 6 women, 8 men. Each athlete has 2 runs, best run counts. We've got 3 judges marking out of 100. Luka Glinsky, the rookie, got her starter here because of the wild card for an injury on Claudia Pagnini.
Yeah, so in last minute, she's actually the youngest rider. You can see getting a little war ride there. Not going too crazy on that first hit, but she has the advantage of seeing what Julia did. Big old stalefish. Now coming into John Drayling's signature rail right there. Nice old front board just going down.
Tried to take a leaf out of Julia Rick's book and cling on to that, but she would have got that amazing sensation of the finger pull.
Yeah, no, it's you versus 2 towers and a lot of horsepower. Unfortunately, no winning. But again, we go back to this kind of this theory of having just messing around with the handle, but having 2 runs takes the pressure off. You know, that first run you can go out, you can fill out the course. Now they have had a lot of chances to ride here, but when it comes to competition, you do get those nerves, and so you have to be a little bit calmer. It's a shame that was going so well. 270 out, just getting her down, unfortunately, and she didn't even really have a squabble of that in practice.
She had an amazing tweak on that stalefish, though. She got the board right up above her head.
Absolutely, that's what the judges are looking for. They want style. Maybe the stalefish could have been a little bit too easy, and I don't want to kind of maybe shoot her in the foot there, but then she was trying to step it up on that John Dryling rail, so she's finding the balance, and each person you'll see will kind of have their strengths in different areas. So some people will be good technical riders, others will be incredible on the kickers. It's each to their own, really.
Okay, Mary Rougier from Toulouse in France. Got a big smile there. Let's see what she's got.
Coming in front side there, 50-50. Blind 180 off right there, nice and clean. Mary is riding really consistently. Nice little grab 3, you'll see landing blind with the rope behind her back, so definitely getting extra points for that. As she goes front lip slide, gets nearly a full pull right there. So Mary's definitely stepping it up. So far, in terms of overall impression, she's definitely ticking the boxes. She looks confident, she looks solid. Right there, coming in 50-50 into a backside board slide on the rail there. That is a good rail trail. On the creeper, nearly shinned herself on that, but gets away with it, and that's very important as she comes in. 180 on, there we go, with a nice 360 off, landing blind. And so blind is where you land with the rope behind your back. It's a much more technical, much more difficult landing, and when the riders throw that in, it definitely pleases the judges.
Okay, those 3 judges, Andy Kolb, Manu Rupp and Piddy Grant, have got their work cut out now. Do you think this is going to push Julia Rick? So Julia's on 44.66. And I think that clean finish there.
It is absolutely very clean finish. That was a good ride. There was the one hiccup on the creeper in that middle section Felix Georgi designed.
Yeah. So, that is a nasty shinner. You'd look like you'd see a bit of bone there. And there's a bit of blood starting to creep out. She's shaking that one off bravely. Next up, Anne Freyer from Germany. Snowboarder in her spare time. How much is that going to help her?
Absolutely. In fact, it's a huge advantage to her because, again, with that line tension, in snowboarding, people don't have line tension, so they're used to being on the rail and getting a full pull. So hopefully that's going to work for herself. Nice little shifty off the old incline there.
Yeah, I love that bit of style there. announced herself this year with the win at the Langenfeld Open, didn't she?
Yeah, big win. Her first ever major win in wakeboarding. And I don't know if you saw her hit on the kicker up there. She had that crail tantrum. Really stylish. It's kind of the first big trick we've seen up there. Julia Rick had the hillside 540. Arguably what's better, but there was definitely a lot more style and a lot more steez on that. There we go. A little banana slide there, I think. Pretty nice. As she comes in, opting for the creeper. Much nicer hit. 360 into the landing and getting, you see that blind landing, how it can be that little bit more difficult there. And a little 270 on.
Oh, some Seth slide flavour there. It's like proper alley power slide up that bank.
Really nice, I have to say. And again, no one's had a very clean, precise run. Everyone has some strengths, everyone has some weaknesses. So it's definitely going to make the second round, their second run, unbelievable. Now look at that grab. Poked out, it's in a very difficult position. You're fighting the G-forces of doing an invert. And just there, I don't know if you can see on that front three off, she's just landed at the bottom of the landing ramp, making it that bit more difficult to ride away clean.
Okay, she didn't put a hand in the water. It was a little bit of a bum slide. Oh, look at that shinner. Oh, that is what the creeper will do to you. Mary Rougier of France displaying her injuries. But a 48 there for Anne Freyer. The German moves into first place ahead of Julia Rick, and she's added a bit of pressure. This is semi-finals, though, if you're just joining us. Momo Dzinski about to drop in. 2 runs, best run counts. We're just on the first run now, and the top 3 of the 6 will be taken into the super final. So Momo dropping in.
Momo dropping in, and she is no stranger to being pulled on a System 2. That first hit was very nice. So she actually used to work in sales and marketing of System 2, which is the cable system pulling them. Right there, we see a tantrum catching up with everyone before as she comes into the John Dryling section. Nice clean hit, again, not the whole way to the end. We're yet to see a full, proper, beautiful pull on that.
Call me vain, Dave, but the fashion is on point today with the women.
Hey, it's all about the steez edge. You got to have that. And there we go, 180 on, 360 off, landing blind again. So we're going to see a lot of blind landings, hopefully. Missing the grab there in the middle section as she comes in for the last hit. Big old pop right there.
Oh, that was lovely.
That was probably one of the nicest hits we've seen so far on the rail. Poking it out, getting a little bit on her right foot. She's definitely happy with that one.
She is really, really stoked. Take a bow, Momo. That was very, very impressive. She's got style on the board to match the hot pants and Hawaiian shirt outfit. Very, very nice.
So you can see that grab was so nice, but it probably wasn't as tweaked out as we saw from Anne Freyer just beforehand.
But the delay on that, really straight, and then just snapped it 90 degrees. 39.66. So Momo slides into third place.
So it's interesting to see, so that big kicker hit, although there's no weighting on different sections of the cable, it just shows what happens in the kicker is very important because it's kind of the star-striking piece of the whole course.
Okay, so last rider of these first runs, Anna Nickstad. I've seen her practicing throughout the weekend here, and she's been looking very, very comfortable.
Yeah, she is. She's definitely one of the favorites here. As you can see, a nice hit, and this is where she has a really good hit. That's the KGB. It's basically a back roll with a backside 360, passing the handle behind her back. Very technical, but she's been hitting that all weekend, and oh my goodness, there it is. A solid pull, rail to rail, 270 out. Anna Nickstad stepping up the level here in the first run.
Well, we were pulling apart Julia Rick's run earlier on, and you said she was the one Achilles, and a dud on that back rail.
Yeah, it's a shame, but she has scored well on it so far. Going rail to rail, big old 360 into the flats.
And she's really rolling the dice with how close she's landing that one to the kicker.
Really close. You're only a foot, and a foot is a lot. It's not that much space, to be completely honest. So that was a really, really good run. She almost looked maybe a little bit tired on the way back. A couple pulls where she came off to either side, but that hit up there on John Dryling's rail was absolutely beautiful. Likewise with that KGB.
Well, what you can see with this run for me are some elements that are going to be absolutely breathtaking, but she needs to fill in all of the gaps there on the obstacle she missed. She had 2 of the best individual hits that we've seen. If she can turn that into 6 big hits, then we've got a very, very serious run.
Exactly, and that's so important because it's not just the hammers that you do, but also the overall impression. So you really have to impress those judges.
Well, she's done that with that first run, 57.33 for Anna Nixstad. First place, just ahead of Mary Rougier, who picked up that very nasty shinner off the creeper rail in the middle of the park. And Freya, Julia Rick, Momo and Luca Glinski, the Germans with a bit of work to do in the second run. Just walk me through it, Dave. In terms of falling, how harsh are the judges going to be working on hand down or a bum down? We started this conversation but didn't finish it.
Yeah, so I mean, it is so, we spoke about the overall impression, that's so important. And if it looks sketchy and it looks a bit messy, it's going to affect your score. There's no way about going about it. So the idea is to just be as clean as you can. A fall basically means you're out. You don't get a chance to go again after a fall. So there's that tail grab. Bit of a tap on the top of it, not quite getting the full pull. Julia Rick coming in, heel side 540, going a little bit off axis there. You can nearly see the fear in her eyes. There it is, rail to rail right there, 270 out. That's the Julia Rick we know.
Okay, she's starting to find her rhythm, the most successful wakeboarder of all time. Won every event she entered, didn't she, in 2015?
Yeah, that's crazy. Imagine showing up to every contest and winning. And you can see it there. You're right, she's found her rhythm. Going rail to rail there. Up, big old stalefish. Now we're going to see a last hit.
Technically, maybe a little simple in that step down.
Yeah, but there's a switch, 270 on, 270 off. Julia Rick has definitely stepped it up. Is it enough to get on to that top 3 spot? We'll have to see.
Well, she needs it. Currently sat in 4th. She's going to need a minimum of 48 to break into the top 3.
She's a very competitive woman as well.
Cleanest run we've seen so far?
Cleanest run, again, there was a couple small mistakes. That hillside 540 wasn't as clean as she would have liked, but that hit there is just absolutely beautiful. You know?
And she was locked in all the way through the feature. She didn't slide off early, which was the big problem with her first run.
Yeah, so that is going to be hopefully a better score for her. She's definitely happy but anxious.
Okay, well, she's definitely happy now. The anxiety is gone. The number of the beast, 66.66 for Julia Rick, moves her into first place. And it's Anna Nixstad in second, Mary Rougier currently in third. Anna Freya has been bumped out into fourth. Momo Dzinski and Luca Glinski down at the bottom. So Glinski with it all to do now on her second run.
Absolutely. Now, she probably hasn't had as much practice being wildcard as the rest of the athletes, which makes it tough because an event like this, it's all about spending time on the course, getting used to it. There's that big poked out stalefish right in front of the judges' towers right there. That's where you want to make them. That's where you want to make them smile.
Sean White uses a stalefish very similar to that in his signature skyhook frontside 540. I think she's been taking lessons.
Absolutely, and you'll find a big snowboarding influence on a lot of cable wakeboarding because it's so similar. And I guess we're kind of learning a lot from you guys. There's a nice back lift, a little bit early coming off.
I've got to say though, you talked about it in the pre-show. It's the amount of pressure that you've got on the cable, and I think that's working. You can see they're still getting a bit of pressure on the cable, but they're right underneath it, so it's way, way harder to balance.
Absolutely, it's far more difficult to balance. Another thing, speaking to a few of them, is they're going a little bit fast. Now, everyone's at the same speed, but it's a little bit faster than your normal cable tow, and that's going to be a little bit difficult. They do have communication with the driver. Obviously, they've been riding with him all week, but he's not able to adjust the speed for them. So there's a little bit of, that's kind of a nuisance for them, I'm going to say. They would probably like to slow down, but they have to take what they're given. Okay,
all of them would feel that. What, can they reset the speed of the cable between the men's and the women's?
No, it's a set speed, so the way it works is it's on a dial from 1 to 10, and it's probably running on 10.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So Luca Glinski banking a much better score on the second run there, a 46, but it is not enough. She is just over 6 points shy of a top 3 spot and a berth in the super final. Right now, Mary Rougier is clinging on to third place. She needs to improve on her 52.66 if she wants to make that spot safe in the finals. Good to see her back out on the water, though, with that shin injury.
Yeah, absolutely. That is braving the elements right there. I think I would have sat this one out, but not for her. You can see that indie grabbed frontside 360 landing blind. It's so technical. That is a solid hit for Mary right there, poking it out.
And she was locked on start to finish, wasn't she? You could see, I always think arms are a great indicator of control, and her body language said, I've got this, I'm locked in. She looked so comfortable.
She did, and she really then added her flair and her style, which she's oh so good at. Going for the creeper again, backside 3 out. That's a scary, going up after just shitting yourself.
I stand up and applaud you. That was fantastic, Mary. All credit, having taken a really, really nasty shinner on that creeper rail. She went straight back in there and made sure she made it that time. You actually saw a grimace then.
Look at that landing, rope behind your back, so difficult, and this is so nice as well. It's not the hit she did going back up. Look at that, after shinning herself before and then going back 360 out.
Now, judges, where are they going to be on that? She just started to skip out. Hillside riser, bouncing across the top.
They won't be delighted. However, it's a balance of it was a very technical trick, and so they have to reward her for it, despite it not being 100% clean.
Okay, slightly cleaner run for Mary Rougier, but again, room to improve, and it's moved her up into second place. Anna Nickstad, the American who'll go last, is currently on the bubble. But the next woman in, Anne Freya, has the chance to move from 4th up. She's currently sat on 48 points. She needs 57.33. And we saw her just sketching out on that first run, missed a couple of tricks, so...
Absolutely, but we know she can do it. She's had a big win already this year. Things are working in her favour. A little bit sketchy, but hangs on. So now she really has to have a strong comeback. Don't know if that straight air is going to be enough.
No, she's let this run go, unfortunately.
But that's the difficult part about this course is once you make one mistake, there's so little room to correct yourself that it throws your whole run off balance. Your line tension, the cable will be wobbling, it'll be moving back and forth, and it just becomes so much more difficult.
Okay, yeah, she's really lost her mojo here, hasn't she? And it's so hard to regain that.
Unfortunately so, but still getting it. That's the trick that was sketchy before. That was really nice. Probably one of the more difficult hits we've seen.
So often that happens, though, when you've got a really hard linchpin to your run, very often that distracts you. You're focusing on that big trick and you forget about some of the simpler things that you can do in your sleep beforehand.
It's so true, and it's even the same. You probably spend 2 days practicing. You're working on the more difficult tricks, but then you ignore the easy tricks. And right there, silly, she just didn't bend her knees enough on the landing. It actually was pretty good in the air, and that could be those competition nerves.
And she was saying exactly the same thing, shaking her head, but then that super hard creeper to front 3 down.
Yeah,
so good.
Check the slack out she got on the line, and that's the biggest thing. We're talking about line tension. I hate to keep bringing it up, but it plays such a large factor.
She's still smiling, 22.66 for Anne Freya. So the German will not advance, and that means there is a chance for Momo Dazinski to take advantage of this. Currently in 6th on a 39.66, but it was a nice run. There was nothing to be worried about with that, and she's got plenty of room to improve here. So she needs a crisp, clean run.
And that's a good start right there. So she's going up and she's giving a little bit of a lip slide and then going the other way. So kind of a bit of a rewind. Indie tantrum. So a tantrum is a back somersault with the grab on the board. A little bit lower than before. That's pretty locked in though. I'm
Sort
pretty
of
happy
smile
with
on her face as she came out as well.
That's the thing. You come up to it and you just have no idea. You're thinking, am I going to make it to the end? Am I not? It's a whirlwind of emotions for the riders out there. There's that 180 on. I think going for the 360 rewind out, not quite getting it there.
Just slipping off her edge.
Yeah, it looks like it's not quite going so well in the Felix Georgi section right there. The last one, big old boost, locked in, 270 out and loses the handle. So unfortunately the judges won't be able to even score on that last trick.
Wow, I
Yep.
didn't realise that.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is roughly you have to be holding the handle and riding away for about 3 seconds to count it.
Okay, so they won't look at that and go, mic drop.
No.
I smashed that. Boom,
Well,
I'm
if
outta
she
here.
threw it down, they would be like, yeah, mic drop. But that was unfortunately more of a fumble if you watch here now in the replay. It just fumbled out of it.
Oh, on the line change. Okay.
Such a shame. Great riding by her, though, the instructor from Langenfeld.
Okay, so Momo Dzinski, 36.66, drops down, shrugs her shoulders, gives it a giggle. But she will have been stoked for the experience here.
Absolutely, and I think that's the thing. This is such a prestigious event. It's the first time the women have been here. They're all just happy to partake. Anything else is icing on the cake.
Yeah, well, first time in, you say that. I think we've got a 3 here who are very powerful. Anna Nixstad currently in 3rd. No pressure on her whatsoever. She can enjoy this run. She's guaranteed a place in the finals. What is at stake is where she starts in the finals.
And so far, off to an unbelievable beginning. I wish that first hit was so incredible. Rail to rail, 270 out. That is 3 solid hits. So she had a good first hit, KGB up the gap, and then rail to rail with 270 out there.
On the 3rd feature here, she didn't use the ramp to come up. She did ollie up onto the rail as well.
So that's another thing. But also, we call them safeties in wakeboarding, which is the up ramp. And so they're going rail to rail. But the safety, unless you're boosting from it, ideally you want to avoid it. Creeper into the 3 down. Little bit of a hand drag, but clean enough.
I think cleaner than the first run.
Oh, and that 270, 90 out. Anna Nixstad, that was a fantastic run. She doesn't seem too pleased.
No, she seemed frustrated with that. Maybe sitting back just a little bit on the exit.
A little bit. I think as well, maybe after this first run, you can see that KGB is just so clean and so consistent. She probably had her special meter going and she was thinking, this is good, this is going really well. So to make that small little mistake on the last hit probably just annoyed her. Probably more, look at that, the big
How
jump.
close is she? Oh, there's some, it's very, very interesting. She's clipping some features there. When she lands the KGB, she's not far off the second feature, and then she's very, very close to the kicker. 65.33. Anna Nixstad had no pressure on the making the finals, but she's managed to push herself up a place, which means she'll start in the 2nd position. Julia Rick is in 1st, though. She'll have the luxury of going last in the finals. Mary Rougier will go 1st. Disappointment for Anne Freyer, Luka Glinski and Monika Dzinski, but plenty of experience there. So a good start to the wake, Dave.
Absolutely. I mean, that was a pleasure to watch. We saw in the first round that they were a little bit all over the place, but in the end, very nice.
Okay, we're going to throw it down now to Thule, who's down on the lake shore with our qualifying winner.
Mary, we're here today at Munich Match Wakeboard Park. In your first run, you had a minor injury. How did you compose yourself to come back for your 2nd run from that?
Just didn't think about that because if you do it again, then it's more painful. Well, that was like a mistake, so it didn't happen again. That's all right.
If you could describe yourself as a rider, then who are you? What is your style or what is your strength?
Having fun. Don't really think about that tricky and going hard, but just going something you really want to do.
Did you get to pull all the tricks you wanted to?
Not really, but I'm trying.
Okay, well, thank you. And good job.
Thanks.
Good to hear from Mary Rougier there in 3rd position.
Definitely an absolute trooper. And yeah, so to go back what we were talking about was they started out a little bit kind of sketchy and no one really had their flow, but by the end of the 2nd round it ramps up and it's all about timing the peak to that 2nd run in the finals.
Well, that was Mary Rougier taking a 2nd bite of the creeper rail that bit her so hard.
Absolutely, and there's Anna Nixstad with that KGB, so passing the handle behind her back. Honestly, that is very difficult. You're going 20 miles an hour, and look at the handle passes, that's the stuff you want to see. You can see Julia Rick doing it there on a straight spin. To be completely honest, anyone else probably would have been taken down there, but her experience corrected her mid-air, and she got away with it.
Okay, consummate performance from Julia Rick there, making very, very short work of the semi-finals. We're going to be back next with the men's semi-finals.
It's always always good to come back to Munich Mash. Like, there is a huge crowd, and just to showcase wakeboarding in front of such a big crowd is so important. And like, there is no other event in wakeboarding, I would say right now, that actually has such a big crowd.
It's definitely special to ride here. Be in Munich and be a part of that with such an insane facility, and it's crazy. It's so beautiful here too, and the place where the contest is at definitely makes Munich Mash what it is.
So the weir flowing down, one of the elements that makes this course so spectacular. It's 2 levels. This is the men's start list. The Brazilian wildman Pedro Caldas, then Liam Peacock, Gunther Oker, Dom Hernler, Raf de Rome, last year's winner, John Dreiling, Felix Georgi and Nico von Lerchenfeld. It is a stellar lineup, Dave.
Absolutely. I'm sitting here excited to watch it go down. There is not one person who does not deserve to be there. Pedro Caldas, he's such an exhilarating rider to watch. Always smiling. Here he goes.
Okay, he is an absolute weapon. I watched this guy in practice. So much pop.
Absolutely, with so much style. He's really burst onto the scene right there. So using the wall ride element of the Nico as he comes into the kicker, right foot forward. Nose grab, rewind. Pedro opening up nice and strong. So spinning one way, using the line tension to spin the other way.
A bit of a layback there.
Yeah.
And he claimed it with the fist.
I think they call that the tail slide, do they? So Pedro, he'll know about that, but it's important that he focuses on the second run here coming back. Nice and pressed out, and a little tap on the 270. So that's we're seeing these kind of different bits of style that he has. Another little rewind there, only a 91, but here he comes in. I think this is a sick hit. On, he goes up into the old board slide, and then he does a little 180 onto the tap. Very nice, very smooth. A good way to open up the men's competition.
Okay, the man with friends in high places.
Yeah.
He's got one really famous mate.
Well, he thought Neymar had a wakeboard a short while ago. I'd love to do that.
I love the fact he's got Brazilian coloured bindings as well.
Yeah.
Real. Oh, there it was. Amazing save, though.
And that's the thing. And these guys, they know how to fall, and they know he would have known, if I hold on here, I'm going to get away from that. And that's kind of the advantage of being such a good rider.
Okay, so 64 is the score on the board there for Pedro Caldas. Generally, the judges, for a good, solid run that's not too spectacular, will chuck out a 75. We've gone with the 64 there, so room to improve for Pedro Caldas. Now it is Liam Peacock. One of the big crowd pleasers. His mission is to then turn that into a judge pleasing.
Yeah, well, Liam's a great rider. He has such a flair. You'll see the energy he brings. He's got that bigger shape, so sometimes it can suffer, but wait till you see what he's about to do on this kicker. He did this so many times in practice. There it is, the double toe side back roll with the grab. Liam's the most consistent double flipper I have ever come across. And going rail to rail, back 3 transfer, off a little bit earlier. I was actually talking to Liam yesterday, and he said, I wish I could just flip on all the rails, because you'll see he's all about flipping. He's got incredible aerial awareness. 270 transfer, 98. You can see him passing the handle on the rail. That's really difficult. Look at that, grab 360 into the flats.
Looking so solid on the landing at the step down.
And there it is. So that is called a Chromo 270 transfer, 90 out. Liam Peacock, that goes back to saying flipping onto everything. He is incredible.
He landed up on the platform there and made that. A little round of applause. Everyone was quite impressed with that, I think. Oh, look
Absolutely.
At the speed of that rotation, he's just slowed it right down. It really doesn't look like a double flip, does it?
No, he has them on so, he's just so consistent. It's incredible. And when you're actually down there in the crowd watching, when Liam rides, the whole place erupts. Everyone is clapping, cheering. He just brings this energy to the whole wake park that I don't think anyone can really kind of simulate.
Okay, certainly. We said it at the start. He is a crowd pleaser. Let's see what the judges think. 73.66. So first place for Liam Peacock, but he's only the second of 8 wakeboarders to drop here on the Olympic Lake. A little bit of breeze getting up. BMX coming later on, so that might play a part in that. But right now, it's semi-finals in wake. Finals coming up. Gunter Oka from the US.
Serious wakeboarder. He is just, I mean, he hits all aspects. He's good on the cable, he's good on the boat, and he's good at winching.
Second here last year. Let's see if he can go one better.
180 on into the tail breast, and then 360 down, landing into the next hit. Toe side, backside, 720 with the grab. We saw him go to 900 on that yesterday, so maybe we'll see that today. Rail to rail to rail. Now we talk about what the judges like to see. A rail to rail is pretty impressive. When you then go back to the rail you took off on, you are absolutely stepping it up to the next level.
Well, that's just pure precision, isn't it? And judges, just that's like tea and cakes for them.
Exactly, they're up there frothing and using that landing ramp. So a lot of the guys you saw like Liam are popping into the flat. Gunther opting for the landing ramp, and right there, solid hit. I hate to criticize. If I was to give it anything, he may have come off there a little bit early, but that is really nitpicking.
Well, no, you've got to, because that's exactly what the judges are doing. They know what standard to expect here, and they're looking for excuses to mark you down.
And that's it, and maybe that's a negative way to look at it. You can actually see a bit of wind there, so that's going to play, particularly on a trick like that where you're passing the handle and grabbing the board. Any little bit of wind could blow that handle out of your way. You might not be able to get in the handle pass.
Going back to that judge's comment, though, they put themselves in a really difficult position if they don't mark that down. They can't have mistakes going unpunished. And as a competitor, you've got to be mistake-free. That is your job, essentially. Before you can start beating anyone else, you've got to make the best of your run.
You really do, and that's exactly it. Everything has to be perfect, and that's what's going to make the Munich Mass champion.
Okay, 73.3 for Gunter Oka. Now it's Dominik Hörnler. He was first in qualifying. Can he continue that run here in the semi-finals?
The great guy. He's always smiling. A lovely Austrian gentleman as he comes in. So he's going down. We were talking earlier about blind. Down the wall ride, and there it is, the money mob. So a back mob is a back roll frontside 360, very technical trick, and he takes it to the next level with style and steez.
The afterbang, if you've never come across afterbang, it's the style that someone has as they finish a trick, and he just had the little humbled head tilt then, I like to call it.
Yeah, he knows it. He knows it. When he's feeling good, he knows it. And he's had... Now, this is an advantage because there are some pre-qualified riders. Oh, look at that.
Look how casual he is. He's not rushing anything, is he?
No, that's the thing. And this is what... Oh, so he's using it almost like a skate ramp, a half pipe or a quarter pipe right there, going up, doing a little 90, coming back down blind. And then this is something I wanted to talk about. So he obviously came through qualifying with 4 pre-qualified riders. Now, he would have actually had an advantage as he would have got to ride the course for an extra couple of runs.
And that it shows here. Sometimes it works, doesn't it? You very often see it when people come through qualifiers right from the back. They learn the courses and then they get comfortable with them. And certainly he's by far the most casual. That was beautiful.
That was beautiful, and that's really taking a different element. I know he's a keen snowboarder, and that's kind of coming into play in his run.
Well, it's worked for him. 85.66 for the Austrian junior European champion 2008 and 10 on a boat. But right now it is the reigning champion of Munich Mash Wakeboard Park, Raf de Rome.
Yes, he is a great wakeboarder to watch. Similar to Gunter Oka, he is fantastic on all elements of wakeboarding. Boat, cable, winch, he can do it all. His brother is also a professional wakeboarder, definitely watching at home right now. Ollie, a great rider as well. There it is, that big tail grab poke. Tail taps the top and goes down the wall ride.
Winds up.
Toe side, backside 9, so he's one-upping Gunter Oka right there as he comes in 50-50 down into the last section, 270 out, rail to rail. So you can see as he goes around the corner, so that's about communication with the driver. So the driver has to drive identically for everyone. So because Raf came off the rail a little bit weird, he came blind, he didn't quite make the corner. Now where that makes a bit of a difference is he's starting from the water here. It's going to affect the line tension, and it also gives him much less setup time for the next lap.
Okay, so the pressure is on now for Raf de Rome. It's only first runs. He's got another one in the bag.
Absolutely, and exactly. And to be honest, it's going very well right there. Oh, commentator's curse.
Yeah, you sent him to the lake.
Apologies about that laugh.
That was your fault.
I tell you what though, see the way he's using that down ramp? It's so much more difficult. So although the big boost into the flat, it probably looks more spectacular, and it's definitely more tough on the body, using that down ramp takes a lot more technical and kind of exact positioning. When you come down on the board, you need to be perfectly flat.
Because the moment you try and engage an edge, then it's going to slide out from underneath you.
Exactly, and there he actually quite a lot of tension, so that could have played back to missing the corner up above. You'd be amazed how that really plays into the whole course.
And what was interesting there, if you compare that run directly before he crashed to Dominic Hernler's, you could see Hernler was a lot more comfortable on the course. I think you were seeing bigger tricks, but you were also seeing less style in one sense. So completely, it would have been good to have seen that run finished and then compare that to Dominic Hernler. Right, next in, John Dreiling of the US.
A great rider. John, he's a good friend of mine, and I've spoke to him a lot. He's very motivated to do well in this contest. He was actually struggling with the Nico rail in practice, but just there it seems like he's found his rhythm on it. The Pete Rose 540, so that is a back flip with a 540 twist, and he adds a little nose grab in there for good measure. Good hit there, and that would be because he designed that rail himself. It is his own feature, so he knows every kink, and he was actually the one who mentioned about the cable running a little bit faster, makes riding that obstacle that little bit harder. Rail to rail to rail, 270 out. John Dreiling really pushing it.
It was lovely, and he caught a little bit of the down ramp there as well.
Exactly. Now the judges probably will penalise him for that because he didn't get the whole thing, but that last hit on the Nico, absolutely spectacular. Little rewind in there for good measure.
That was so crisp, wasn't it?
Yeah, John Dreiling, so he's so known for being tech, but this year he's really focused on focusing on the big gaps and tricks like that. The Pete Rose 5, very technical. And there it is, the rail to rail to rail, 180 and then rewind 360 out, landing blind.
This was the pick of the bunch for me.
To do this and rewind, as I'm sure you know, into that kind of back lip, that is no easy feat.
Got to have your balance absolutely perfect. So John Dreiling waiting for that score. 84.33, slips into second place, just behind our current leader.
He looks like he is buzzing.
Very, very pleased with that. So next up, Felix Georgi.
Great rider, really focuses a lot on going big. He's very influenced by snowboarding. He's a great snowboarder and it really influences his riding. You can see he's getting pumped up.
Getting the crowd moving, little manual down the in-run.
Ooh, there's a big boost Stalefish right there, and as he comes into his own section, so he designed the middle section as John designed the upper end. Hill 5, probably not what he's looking for, to be completely honest. I think we saw him go 7 and even 9 earlier on. See that press though?
Lovely nose press. Body position barely moved between the transfer.
Yeah, absolutely. And you need to look at their shoulders as well. The shoulders plays a huge role in that.
Very, very steady on the rails at the moment.
There we go. So coming from the outside in, going rail to rail, and here he is on the creeper, tail tap, and on the landing ramp, and he's blind. Felix Georgi, well, you know well, he designed that.
Yeah, he's definitely got an advantage. So each of the features, we had a team event on Friday, and each of the features was designed by one of the team captains. So there's certainly an advantage for some of these guys. Oh, look at this. This was a real sleeper for me. He measures that. Look at it.
Yeah.
Perfectly into the back.
However, if I'm to criticise it, look, his hand came off the grab a little bit early, and the judges will have noticed that. So we go back to being very nitpicky, but you have to be, and that's the way the judges will be looking at it. Likewise with that 5 we just saw, but that hit there. Blind, down the down ramp. That is so technically difficult.
Yeah, watch out. We're going to get the radio traffic alert coming in because the scores, I think, are going to start getting quite congested up at the top here. At the moment, we've got Dominic Hernler in first on 85.66, John Dreiling on 84.33. 73.66 is the current score that will get you into the super final. What's it going to be? 70.66, fourth place. Felix Georgi with some work to do in the second run. If you're just joining us, this is the Olympic Park. This is men's Wakeboard Park semi-finals. It's the first run though, and the last man to drop, Nico von Lerchenfeld from Germany.
Yeah, a great rider. He's a family man, not just wakeboarding. His family's involved in the wakeboard business. His son Nalu's watching from the crowd. He's only about 3 years of age. He's probably out there doing it for him as he comes into his signature rail, and there you go, the tail grab boost into wall ride.
Oh, and looking so comfortable as he makes his way up the kicker.
And the front side 900 with a grab, so that's actually not a trick we'll see cable riders do a lot, which is a toe side spin. We don't see a lot of toe side, front side spins. We see some backside ones right there, by the way, on the John Dryling rail. Nice solid hit there. So this is so far looking good for Nico. Very focused. Big old boost, a little bit squabbly on the landing, but I think the judges will allow a bit after that big takeoff. Missing the landing ramp there, now coming in, this is where he's going to really shine. This is his rail, backside 540, so he's landing on the rail. It was maybe a little bit underspun, we're going to say it was maybe a 520, but really, all in all, the technicality of that and landing with the rope behind your back, you're looking the opposite direction, fully trusting muscle memory on that for Nico.
That was the opener, so well measured, and you can see the smile on his face as he came out of it.
And check this out, a front side, toe side spin. We don't see a whole lot of that in cable. I don't know why that is. Maybe because naturally you'll unwind on the kicker and start pre-spinning.
This was huge, wasn't it? Trying to absorb the impact on that rail.
Yeah, you can see he landed a bit on the kink, and maybe that was why he was thrown off balance. He's smiling though, he's happy.
So, Nico von Lerchenfeld rounds out the first runs of the men's semi-finals here in Munich. 68.33, sixth place. It's been pretty big already, but a lot of the guys just starting to find their feet here. And as you said, Dominic Hernler, current leader, is maybe benefiting from having had qualification. He qualified in first place and he's had a bit more time on this course. John Dryling from the US right behind him. Liam Peacock currently sat on the bubble, and no shortage of talent below him waiting to get into the finals. Felix Georgi, Günther Oker, Nico von Lerchenfeld have all got, well, they're within touching distance. A lot of work to do for last year's winner though, Raf de Rome, down at the bottom there in eighth.
Well, it's
pressure
interesting. We talk about that panel, you could flip it up. Whoever's last could be first, and I wouldn't be surprised. And that's the beauty of Munich Mash. You get the top in the business. When it comes to semi-finals, everyone deserves to be at the top, and that is the beautiful thing.
Okay, so Pedro Caldas, the Brazilian who taught Neymar to wakeboard, dropping in legs of steel on this lad. Big dynamic riding.
All right, so here he comes in for the kicker hit. This is what I'm excited to see. Big old rewind, and that just scores so high with the judges, because you're spinning one way to stop your body and spin the other way. And there we have rail to rail, and see how he pressed out on that 1 foot. Like we talk about being locked in. Pedro literally grabbed the key, threw it away right there. Coming in 50-50 front boy, and that tap, oh, it's so nice. To do a 270 out, it's hard enough, but to add a tail tap in there, he's looking solid on this run. He definitely seems to be a bit more aggressive, a bit more in control, as that 270 on pokes it right out, back up. He's happy.
That was the run that Pedro Caldas was looking for, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I suspect maybe on that last hit with Nico, he would have wanted to go 90 out to finish off the rotation. Few things he probably would have changed, but I mean, all in all, he definitely cannot complain. Solid grab there, double grabs it, really clean. Now, he's the only guy doing that as big and as stylish. When you see it in the flesh, it's massive.
That's the one for me. That's when you know someone's finished a rail. There's no way he's sliding off. He's actually tricking the end of the rail. So, complete control there. 73.66. He needs 69.66 is the answer from the judges. So disappointment for Pedro Caldas in the sense that he hasn't made finals, but he gave a really, really good account of himself.
Absolutely, and he is a young gun. He's got a bright future ahead of him.
Okay, Liam Peacock dropping in now. Currently in third position. He will be desperate to up that score, though, and cement his position in the super final.
Absolutely. His brother, also a professional wakeboarder, watching from home with a shoulder injury. But the two of them do a lot of YouTube videos. They've got great personalities. Liam getting tackled and dragging out. I actually don't know what happens here because he didn't let go. So theoretically, I don't think he knows what happens then. Does he get to ride back? Does it count? I mean, realistically, he's probably going to end up going with his first run score.
Yeah, he's not going to have improved on it, but disappointment there. It's going to be a very long, nervous wait for Liam Peacock. Only the second man to drop of...
Oh, thank God he's pretty bulky. He can take those hits, but that hurts. It's solid plastic. It's not easy to slide along. Felix Georgie definitely blown away by that.
So Liam Peacock is going to sit and wait on his 73.66. It's going to be a long, nervous wait. He's only the second man to drop after Pedro Caldas in the second run of the semi-finals here. So he's going to be 6 people to wait. Well, John Dryling, Dominic Hernler are ahead of him, but as you said, Dave, there is so much talent underneath him at the moment who could knock him out.
Anything can happen, and I think Liam knows that, and that's probably why he's a little bit frustrated with himself, because he knows I should have upped my score. If I could have, it would have really gave me a lot better of a chance.
How far do you think he could have taken that? How far could he have pushed that score?
I mean, he could have got up into the top spot, no problem.
Okay. Next in, Gunther Oker from the US. Currently sat in 5th position on a 70.33, so the top 3 is well within reach for the American.
Absolutely, and he's told me actually yesterday he's been riding a lot of cable, and that's the toe back 9 goes down. That is going to be heartbreaking for him.
Face in his hands, he knew he's made the mistake. Liam Peacock breathes one sigh of relief, only 5 more to go.
It's a tough one though, because you want to build the tallest building in town, but you want to build it by building the tallest building in town, not by knocking the other ones down. And Liam definitely is probably disappointed for his good friend Gunther.
Okay.
Look at that, it's that last grab he adds in there. That's where he got the tension, and he just fumbled the handle pass. And that's the line tension coming into play again. It's different, it's not the same, particularly when you go up a weir. When you're landing hard and you took off, you have a little bit less time. It plays a factor.
Yeah, you're not on the same hang time, and then the line doesn't have the same tension that you're used to. And if you haven't had enough time to get used to that, then that is going to be a big, big factor. And that was the thing. We know that Dominic Hernler has had 3 days competing in here, where the top 4, including Gunther Oker, have not.
Yeah, definitely leads for an exciting next few riders.
So Dominic Hernler, our current leader, on 85.66. Can he put himself even further out of reach?
So Dominic actually comes from a boat background, which definitely plays a factor in this next section, because the kickers is where the boat riders strive. And there you can see it's that money mob, the way he grabs it, it's so beautiful. Basically it's a back mob, which is a back flip or a side flip with a front side 360. Locking in there on the last rail-to-rail action.
I tell you what, if anyone from Lazy Boy is watching this, I reckon they're going to end up signing up Dominic Hernler. The style is insane. He is so relaxed.
Look at that, 50-50 the whole way along. The technicality level of that is probably higher than going rail-to-rail. It's really, oh,
shifty landing.
What? That is insane. Dominic Hernler is, and see the manual up there, and then 270 in, the manual on that. So difficult to do. Dominic Hernler definitely will be buzzing off that.
Honestly, I think he's in a different league to everyone else at the moment. There's a danger that he made that look too easy for the judges.
His finesse is incredible. How he's so clean, so tidy, so precise. It's incredible to watch, and he's such a nice guy as well. Look at that.
I spotted that he was actually using the creeper and the top ledge there. Yeah. I thought it was just a backside lip slide.
Let's hope the judges could spot that from their angle.
What? Wow. I thought that was a much, much stronger run, but what do I know? Not a judge. So, Dominic Hernler sits on the 85.66. What did you make of that, Dave?
I thought, to be honest, and that's what I wondered, maybe they didn't see that he was using the creeper and the top rail, you know, because there's a little bit there actually sitting behind that. Maybe they weren't as happy, maybe the grab wasn't as good. They can see stuff from a different angle to us.
Okay, so next in, Raf de Rome. This is the defending champion, and he is under the pump. He needs a solid run here. To be precise, he needs 73.66.
Ollieing on, 270 transfer, 90 out. It's looking good. That was a better hit than the way up in the first round. What will affect him was he was definitely going for that toe back 9 on that kicker. Unfortunately, going toe back 7, he thought better to play it safe right away than potentially do what Gunther did and actually drop the handle. It's looking good though, rail to rail there.
Very nice. That's where he made the mistake on the first run. A lot of slack in the line, but he's got away with it. Oh! Rolling the dice. Rafter Rome is going to be very, very... Well, I don't want to say it too soon, but that was a big mistake.
That was a big mistake. Honestly, I think he's probably just happy he did not have a big accident right there. But yeah, you can see it. So there he was actually going to turn like 9, but he got pulled and he couldn't get it around, so only going 7. And now I know because of practice he was going to turn like 9, but look at this. He mistimed it, hit the safety there. Oh! The core strength. In fact, the extra line tension here probably helped him. He probably on a normal cable would have ended up in a very different situation.
Yeah, would have pulled him a bit harder. He managed to get that toe edge clear of the kink in the rail. But Rafter Rome, 69.33. We will have a new winner here at Munich Mash Wakeboard Park Finals. Last year's winner is out, so plenty of drama already in semi-finals.
That's it. It's so unpredictable. It's incredible to watch.
Okay, next in, John Dryling, currently sat on that 84.33 in second place. So I think he'll be feeling a little bit safer now that he's seen Rafter Rome go down.
Yeah, and he's had a big year. He already knows, throwing the hand up. He's probably going to end up going with his first run. Yeah, there it is, the Rayleigh, the Superman. John is thinking, I'm going to have to leave it up to fate now.
Yeah, he's enjoying himself on this one, just giving the rails a quick spray, helping everyone else out there.
Absolutely, a team player. Now, there are people spraying the course, which definitely makes it easier. Considering the heat, the water just evaporates right off.
So the more spray you can get on those, the easier they'll slide.
Interesting one about John. So he started the year with no board sponsor, and he put out an old school sponsor me tape. And then he had the option, basically, of any board brand. They were all supporting him. He tried everything, and in the end, he signed a deal with Slingshot just a few weeks ago.
It's an insane idea, isn't it? That someone at the top of their game puts out a sponsor me tape. It's a bit of marketing genius.
Well, he messaged me about it, and I was like, it's a sketchy move. It's a risky move as well, because then you're trying all these different boards. He had photos going up on different boards, and in the end, he did sign. So it definitely paid off for him, and he had a lot of options, and he ended up choosing what board and brand suited him, and it worked out well.
Okay, so at the moment, John Dryling is in second place, but there are 2 men left to drop, and both of them have the capacity to make it into the top 3. First up, Felix Georgi of Germany, currently sat in 4th, just a minuscule 3 points off qualification for the super final. So nervous times for Liam Peacock.
Absolutely, Liam watching on. And there it is. Oh, going for a different grab this time, but I don't know if you can see he was fumbling a little bit, which the judges are definitely going to penalise him for. There's the hillside 7 that he was looking for before. He only did a hillside 5, so he's up in the ante.
But he was a little bit lumpy on the landing.
Yeah, nose press, nose press. He kind of started spinning out a little bit early on that rail to rail, which also will affect him. Needs to clean it up on the second pass if the judges are going to try and put him into that top spot. A little bit of a hand drag, it's okay, but again, we're getting some good tricks, but nothing's been solidly clean until then. Oh, going down that landing line.
That is beautiful.
Now coming into the last trick. There it is, onto basically a blind nose press is what we would call that. Come up nice, nearly taking Liam out there.
Well, the big question is whether we can take him out in the scores. The judges are going to decide now.
Very nice. So the hillside, frontside 7, passing the handle twice behind his back, and you can see that's where he's coming a little bit sketchy. Thankfully, he had some line tension to pull him out of that tail press. There we go. See landing blind down that? That is difficult. Absolutely spectacular. Fixes his shirt and into the next trick.
So, Felix Georgi, couple of small mistakes there. I think that sums up the face that most of us were making. Like, maybe. Nervous times, 72. Oh, so close, and yet so far. Liam Peacock breathes his 4th sigh of relief. Just 1 rider left to go. Liam Peacock is feeling very, very nervous. Next wakeboarder is Nico von Lerchenfeld from Germany, currently on a 68.33. Judges have packed these people in. There's less than 5 points separating 3rd and 8th. So you only need to improve by 6 points or 5 and a third.
If anyone can do it, it's Nico. As he enters in his first section, that big grab, hand coming off a little bit early, probably getting a little bit extra height than he initially thought he was going to get. Yeah, the mute chromo 540, little bit sketchy on the landing, but that is a technical trick. It's basically a front somersault with a 540 twist, and right there getting a nice rail to rail. I think it was a 270 across. It's good, but he's definitely stressing. He's got his work cut out for him on the second pass. You can see the focus right there. Stalefish cleaned that one up massively from the first pass. No wobbling at all. There's that blow. Oh!
Looked like he was chasing a salmon across the top of the water, didn't it?
That is heartbreaking to see, and he knows it. If he had got that, it could have changed everything. It might not have, but it could have.
Honestly, I think the way that we saw Felix Georgi penalised for that lumpy landing on his run just beforehand, I think that Nico had potentially already lost his chance.
Yeah, and look, there's back on, going up to get balance. He's overshot that a bit, and you can see almost a little squint.
And here's the landing. He sits right back on that, and I think the judge, that's right in front of the judges' tower. There's no way they're missing that.
No, absolutely not. And this was so nice. Simple error. And you know, that's the problem when you're in competition. If he was riding at home or if it was practice, he probably wouldn't have fallen on that because there would have been no nerves, no extra external factors come into it when you're at home. But then, when it comes to the day, it can be tough.
Okay, Nico von Lerchenfeld giving it up to the crowd, saying thank you for all the support and fantastic atmosphere down here. This is the perfect place for a lot of the Munchenites. I don't know if that's what you say. Perfect atmosphere down here. So let's take a look at the leaderboard. Dominic Hernler in first after he qualified in first. So a clean sweep so far. John Dreiling in second, Liam Peacock in third. Those are the super finalists. Felix Georgi just missing out. And then down at the bottom, seventh, Raf de Rome, last year's champion, couldn't put it together. Right, now we're going down to the ramp over to Tuli Yevstigneyev.
So Liam, you qualified for the finals here at Wakeboard Park here at Munich match. Is it nerve-wracking to sit and wait to see if you're going to score enough or not?
Oh my God, that was so scary. Like, all the boys absolutely killed it, and just sitting here watching, knowing that on my second run after that, there was nothing I could do. But somehow got into the finals and ready to throw some stuff down for the finals, I guess.
So I heard you talking before that you have some kind of a secret trick that you might pull in the finals. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I don't know, like, I'm just gonna try and do what I've been doing, keep sending it, and try and put down some good runs for you guys. So sick to be out here with such a huge crowd. And yeah, hopefully finals is gonna be crazy.
Okay, well, thank you and good luck with the finals.
Thank you.
Liam Peacock very, very happy about that.
Yeah, Liam started 2 years ago, his Munich match story started, where he arrived not competing, and he managed to land a trick that had never been done before. Then last year he got the invite back, and now this year he's found himself in the finals.
That was my favourite face of the whole competition. That was pure determination on John Dreiling's face coming into that. Very, very technical run from the American.
Absolutely. Well, he's setting up for the greatest year of his wakeboard career so far, by the way things are going right now.
Dominic Hernler, though, a masterclass in casual tech. He was a fantastic winner. So coming up next, we have the women's super finals. Best two runs. Let's find out. Welcome back to the Olympia Park here in Munich, where conditions are perfect, and I say that with a big capital P, for the women's Wakeboard Park Super Final. Three women, Mary Rougier, Anna Nickstad and Julia Rick, will be contesting it. They're going in reverse order of the semi-final standings. So Julia Rick at the moment is the woman to beat. Has she got an Achilles heel, Dave?
I mean, she does. She has invented tricks in wakeboarding. You know, she's the first person to do a Rayleigh blind 360, or blind 540, excuse me. She's invented the toe back 9, first ever one.
look how keen she was. She was already lined up,
I know.
bar in her hand. They're like, no, you're going in reverse order. We've even got Anna Nixstad there as well, waiting for her turn. No, Mary, it's you up first, they're pointing at her.
A bit of confusion down there, and it can be confusing. There's so much going on. It happens in such a short space of time. Going back to Julia Rick, she's probably one of the most competitive and professionally competitive riders there's ever been in wakeboarding, both male and female. She's very driven, she's very motivated, and right now, Mary Rougier just having a technical issue. Binding strap broke right there, tightening it up.
Okay, that is not the ideal start, but we're getting a real close-up on that shinner there to stem the blood flow. You can see it. Oh,
see that? God, that left side between her board and her leg is not having much luck at the moment.
Yeah, that's... God, you can see how much skin she lost. That was off the creeper rail. Talk us through the creeper rail, Dave.
So the creeper rail is effectively up against another ledge. There's barely enough space to fit your wakeboard on, and as we see, if you go a little bit too close to it, you can end up losing a little bit of skin. So it's definitely one of the more difficult aspects, but the judges will reward you if you hit it well.
Okay, Mary Rougier has overcome that quick technical issue. She gets handed the line. This is a two-tower system, so they're going underneath, takes a deep breath, nods her head, says, yep, I'm ready. She looks pretty relaxed considering everything that just went down.
Yeah, to be honest, that would be stress level 1000 if that was me. There's nothing worse than a technical issue. Coming in frontside 50-50 into a backside 180, off maybe a little bit earlier than she would have expected, but she's definitely calmed down. She's on the podium already. There's that indie front three we've seen. Very nice, very clean, landing with a rope behind her back. Board side the whole way along. I think she would have liked to take that to 270 if we're to kind of go on her track record.
But this is super finals. We've got 2 runs, so all she needs here is a good solid score to put pressure on everyone, and we've seen that working in both the men's and the women's. You don't need to go berserk on the first run, just a good solid score will do.
There's that creeper backside 3, so she's not being put off by her previous little injury, and 180 on, 360 off, just going down. Those blind landings are so tricky, Ed.
So close and yet so far. Just a scant 5 meters from the ramp, but she couldn't hold on to the line off that 6th feature.
That's so nice. Poking the grab out. See how she lands, she's looking the opposite way. The handle's behind her. Quick little 180 back to her normal stance so she can set up for the next rail.
It's an interesting one for any skaters, snowboarders or surfers watching this. You do have a preferred stance in wakeboarding, but it's not as important, it's not as critical as skating or snowboarding.
No, not at all. And actually, it's funny you say that. What's more important is that you spin both ways. So you'll find ambi spinning is a massive part. So you'll see the guys doing the rewinds, you'll see the guys going front side 270, back side 270. That really matters, and that really comes into play. So it's very important, and that's more important than doing a trick switch or regular.
Okay, next in we have the American Anna Nixstad out of Vasteras in the States.
Yeah, big old hit right there. Landing down the down ramp, getting creative with the different options. Is it the KGB? Yes, it is. Now, we may see her add a grab to that later on. I saw her do a few in practice. And she goes 50-50 into the front lip, 270 out. Nice and clean. Anna Nixstad laying down the law. She knows Julia Rick's next. She knows she's going to put the pressure on. Julia looking very concentrated.
The 2017 World Champ just dropping off the up at the end there.
So Anna Nixstad actually won Plastic Playgrounds last year, which is one of the most elite competitions next to Munich Match in London. And there's a big old 360 into the gap. The hand drag again, we saw it earlier. She comes in 270. Honestly, I'd say overall that's a very good run. Some good tech tricks, clean, locked in. Other than that one hand drag, there's not too much I can really criticize.
Okay, well that is good news for Anna Nixstad, the American, living in Sweden, in Vasteras at the moment.
Yeah, with her boyfriend William Klang, who's over there competing at, I think, a Swedish Pro Tour stop this weekend.
Super clean on the handle pass there, really good.
Looking on that score, she kind of knows, she's almost got a smirk about her there.
Yeah, 70.33, she's happy with that one. I mean, you're in the super final, you know you're on the champagne steps already, the podium awaits, but she's put a bit of pressure on Julia Rick.
Julia Rick thinks pressure is for tires, though. She does not feel it. Her history, the number of wins she's had, the number of times she's been last off the dock, it's nothing to her.
Yep, there is nothing that phases this woman in competition.
And here it is, the kickers. This is where her strength will be. There's the toe side, backside. The improvisation there was incredible. She was definitely going toe back 5 or 7, but she didn't, and she tried to actually grab it midway through. Very impressive. Rail to rail hit there. It all comes down to the second run, I think, before all the ladies.
It's we haven't seen perfection yet.
No, not yet.
Again, we see her coming off early on that rail. I wonder if that's part of it, though, if she's actually aiming for that.
I was thinking that the way she's approaching it, it's definitely possible, but as she comes in now to her last hit, it's really going to have to come. There's that 270 on, rewind out. So that hit, I would say, was as close to perfect as she could probably hope for. She could maybe be a little bit more locked in. Looks a bit disappointed overall, though.
Yeah, it wasn't. The claim at the end always gives you an insight into the athlete's psyche. And just as she came off, there wasn't 100% conviction in the point.
Look at this, she spun a little bit early. Look at the tension. And then, where she was supposed to do an extra 180, she just rushed for the grab. She improvised that. And that is why she's a true champion. That's why she can adapt when it doesn't go wrong. And that millisecond is very impressive.
But if you can see it, Dave, then the judges have seen it too.
100%. They watch wakeboarding all day. The judges ride themselves. They know exactly. And that's where it really will kind of not help her out massively.
Okay, yeah, the claim wasn't convincing and the score wasn't either. 64.66 for Julia Rick. So, second and final runs are ahead of us. Standings at the moment. Anna Nixstad is in first, 70.33. Not an unreachable score by any standard. Julia Rick, arguably the most dangerous woman in female wakeboard competitions, in second place. Mary Ruggiero in third. Mary rushed into her first run, so hopefully she's had a bit more time to settle now, and we'll see that lovely run, same kind of standard that we saw in the semi-finals.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, she's cool, calm, and collected. She would be more partial to a full-size system, so this is a 2-tower cable. However, there's an alternative option, which is a 5 to 6-tower cable. Now, Mary would, giving her history, be better on a full size, so this is definitely a challenge. And we go back to that same line tension issue. Now, she spent her winter training in the Philippines in a park called CWC. She's basically going to live in the endless summer.
The wakeboarding dream.
That is it, that's what we search. Follow the sun, as they say, as she comes in to the kicker. So she's very consistent. And now the judges might like to see a bit of something different, because if you do the same trick, psychologically for the judges, although they can't make
she's
a
off
difference,
early.
Yeah.
Oh, but as you say, I don't think she could change it up because she didn't have this run as cleanly as she wanted it.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah, that's a good point. You have to hit the tactics. And there she knows it. I think this run could be a throwaway in her books, but she's still going to go for that creeper. Back 3 in, losing the handle.
All credit to Mary Ruggiero. She got bitten off really hard on her first run in the semi-finals. She came out with a nasty kind of friction burn on her shin, still rode really hard, made it into the super finals, but she didn't look comfortable from there, did she?
No, and do you know the interesting thing about being guaranteed a podium position in that finals is it can work in either way. It can light a fire under you and you can really step it up, or it could actually make you relax a little bit, and that might have happened in her situation. I mean, they're tired. They've been riding every day for the last 3 days, 4 or 5 hours a day, getting their practice in, getting used to the course.
Okay, so that score is academic. Mary Ruggiero will settle for third position, which means it's a straight fight between our last 2 athletes. Anna Nixstad, currently in the top spot. Can she put herself even further ahead of Julia Rick? 70.33 is her current score. We saw Rick in the semi-finals. She came through to the super finals in first place, and she is very, very capable of putting 80 points plus on the board here. So Nixstad has to get a cleaner run here.
She has to, and also on a personal level, I would say there would be no nicer feeling than finally taking down Julia Rick. Right there, 270 into the landing ramp, landing with the rope behind her back. And there's that KGB. Anna Nikstad is on a mission right now.
She is looking very, very clean.
Ollie on, 50-50, 50-50, just missing the rail to rail, opting for the grass corner. She's got a couple seconds now, so now her brain is thinking 100 miles an hour. Okay, focus in, Anna, as she comes in to the rail to rail. 50-50, 50-50, backside 180 out, clean as a whistle right there.
Okay, so she's up the technicality all the way through this run, but she's had one mistake with that rail transfer.
But she's cleaned up that drop 360, and there's the 180. No, just not quite getting on the way she would have wanted to. An interesting one, because there was elements that were better than the first run, but there was also elements that weren't quite as strong.
Yeah, it's not going to be a vast improvement on the first run. Could potentially be a small improvement. I didn't feel like she got quite as much pop on the KGB.
No, she took it a little bit smaller, and maybe, like you can see, she's kind of dropped her chest a little bit on the way up the kicker. That helps reducing line tension, which can make the trick easier. But look how clean this is on that 360. Oh, just dropping out of it and making it really nice and clean. So it'll be interesting to see how this ends up.
Okay, judges have decided 68.66, so she will sit on that first run score of 70.33, but it will definitely give hope to Julia Rick. Anna Nikstad not able to put this one out of reach. Julia Rick has been in this situation so many times before. We've said it again and again, the most successful wakeboarder competitively of all time. She did an entire year unbeaten, but she's currently in second. The pressure is on.
Yeah, well, she's been in this position 56 times before, and she's made it work. So here we go as she comes into the finals. Is she going to improve on that toe side, backside? 720. Julia Rick stepping up the level right now. Can she hold it together? Rail to rail right there, locked in, 270 out. If I've ever seen anyone who can do it pressure, look at her slamming the board down. She knows it right now. It is a fingertip away.
She is almost glacial in her ability to apply pressure. It doesn't matter how much she is under. She takes it nice and smooth. Oh.
It all comes down to this, Ed, as she comes in, switch, toe side, 270, locks in, 270 out. Julia Rick, I don't want to call it. Potentially, she has just done it and been the first ever female Munich Mass champion. We talked about reactions. She looks pretty stoked.
Yeah, Anna Nikstad there, pretty nervous, wondering whether or not Julia Ricks has got this. Oh, so clean on the 7.
Do you know what's impressive about that is she got pulled off axis a little bit. You can see the line tension and still gets away with it.
And she's actually off axis at the point of the handle change.
Yeah, and that's not, sometimes wakeboarders go off axis on purpose, but that was not one of those scenarios. Julia Rick flabbergasted me every single time.
Okay, showing her experience on every level there, whether it was the pressure she was under or her ability to improvise throughout those tricks. So there's the score, 79. Julia Rick has taken the win here at the first ever Munich Mash Women's Wakeboard Park final. And you can see what it means to her in front of a home crowd. The German has taken the win.
Deservedly so. Very, very impressive to watch.
Okay. And the crowd very, very impressed by that one. Confirmation of the results. Julia Rick in first, 79. Anna Nikstad couldn't improve on that first run score of 70.33 and take second. Mary Rougier, a brave final, but she wasn't able to improve. So we're going to hand down now, Lakeside with Thule.
Julia, congratulations. You have won in the Girls Wakeboard Park here at Munich Mash. Can you describe the vibe here? Like, what is the competition vibe and overall?
Yeah, the overall vibe is just crazy. Yeah, riding in front of such a big crowd just makes me incredibly happy and yeah, proud to represent women's wakeboarding to all the people. Thank you, Munich. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you too.
A very happy Julie Rick there. Deserved champion. Let's take a look at some of those runs from the super final. Mary Rougier So impressive, but so disappointed. As you said, Dave, she wasn't able to improve on that semi-final run, really.
No, unfortunately not. But you know what? She had a big day. If you think of all the elements, she hurt herself. Her binding had an issue, and she still rode pretty well, all things considered. That trick, that's what did it for Julia Rick. That toe back 7 in any form of wakeboarding, it's so hard. Never mind up a step up, never mind the fact that she didn't get the takeoff she needed. Absolutely blows my mind.
And the landing, she was so light on her feet, so clean in that last run.
Absolutely, well, she's got that real athletic build, and she's just incredible to watch.
Okay, so Julia Rick will be celebrating while we move on to the men's super final. 3 men, 2 runs, best run counts. Very, very simple. Liam Peacock, John Dreiling, Dominic Hernler. They're going in reverse order of those semi-final positions. And right now, Dominic Hernler is the man to beat, and for very good reason. He looks so comfortable on this course.
He is. I mean, he's come up through the qualification, into the semis, into finals. He's built himself up. The question is he tired? Does he have the stamina to continue? He's got 2 more runs, arguably 2 of the most important runs. Will he make it? Only time will tell.
Well, we're going to kick off with Liam Peacock from Great Britain. You said it, he got in here not by luck, he rode well, but a lot of people fell, and he had to ride that out. Now he's got the rebate chance, though. He can come in here and lay down the run that he would have wanted to put down in the semis.
He does, and in practice, he's one of the guys who practices the most. He's out there doing that same hit every single time. It's incredible to watch. Now, it's going to be the double toe side back roll. I know the crowd just went crazy. Everyone gets so stoked on that. 50-50, back 270. Coming off a little bit early.
Do you think he wanted the 270 off there?
I think he's going to go at least 90, maybe 270 rewind.
Okay.
I think he would have liked to have gone 90 now and 270 in the next round, but there's a nice hit. Again, coming off a little bit early. Now, to the naked eye, it does look very good, but when it comes to finals, you have to do it.
Yeah, and the judges, we've said it all along, the judges are just looking for an excuse to mark someone down. Oh!
Incredible, and he's on the nose there as well. Like,
inverted 630 on.
Yeah, so we call it a chromo 270 is how we would name it, but yeah, exactly, inverted. So he's basically doing a 630-degree spin, off axis, rope going over his head, so much going on.
There's that double, and watch the trailing arm, the arm that's grabbing as he lands. It is so relaxed. He knows that trick inside and out, doesn't he?
He does. He's incredible. He's pushing the levels of wakeboarding, particularly when it comes to flipping and aerial awareness. Such an amazing run to watch.
Well, to be able to finish with that, you've got such a strong finish there, 67.66. So a decent score, but the judges have definitely filed a little bit, chiseled a little bit off that score for those looser moments.
Absolutely. I'd say his brother at home is watching, so excited, but definitely anxious to see, because he knows. So Ryan is Liam's brother, but Liam, Ryan and John, who's just come up, are 3 best friends. They ride together all the time.
Oh, lovely starter for 10 from John Dreiling.
Absolutely. Now coming in, there's that Pete Rose 5, poking the nose grab. He's focused right now. He's on it. 50-50, 270 transfer, showing it why he designed that rail.
So looking very clean up to this point as he starts his way back down through the 3 features.
Rail to rail to rail, 360 out. John Dreiling absolutely killing it with the 180 onto the creeper, backside 180 into the down ramp. This is looking good for John as he comes in. 50-50, 270, rewind 270 out. That is the most flawless run we have seen all day. No mistakes.
If wakeboarding was a science, John Dreiling would be the professor. That was so precise.
He really would, and in fact, he's probably one of the most educated wakeboarders ever. He's got an MBA. He's a super smart guy. He's a business owner, and he's also an incredible wakeboarder, as we've just seen.
Right, he's clinical on these rails. This is the triple transfer, and he's so clean, gets this all the way through, and he's got the composure to throw that 270 out of it as well.
Yeah, and you see the way his shoulders are facing the other way, and this right there. So he still has that little rewind we saw earlier on left up his sleeve, so there is room for improvement.
Okay, which last trick would go bigger for you? Liam Peacock's or John Dreiling's?
For me personally speaking, I would
Sorry,
say
81.66 there, lead position for John Dryling. Now
okay, so I would put it on and say that Liam's was probably more spectacular, but John's might have been more technical.
Okay, Dominic Hernler is up, third and final man to drop in the first of these 2 runs in the super final men's Wakeboard Park final at Munich Mash.
There it is, nose press into the 270 using the wall ride. Coming in, there it is, that melon back mob, or money mob as it's called in his scenario, as it has won him so many competitions. 50-50 up across, 50-50 gap, back 3 out. Dom Hernler is on form. Dom
Hernler is in danger of looking bored here, isn't he, in the middle of this run? He's so relaxed right now.
Exactly, pardon the pun, but right there, 50-50, 50-50, 270 across, 90 out. He is making it look so easy.
Now, you suspected that the judges, being on the other side of that rail, can't see that he's actually using the creeper and the top rail there.
Maybe not, but that was just purely going off what they scored him. But can we just say, this run, the way he used the Nico, that last obstacle, going up and then spinning almost like a quarter pipe, Dom Hernler is a creative man.
Okay, let's take a closer look at this.
Look at that grab, holds it for so long, boom, gets the handle pass on the landing, clean as a whistle.
Body language is so relaxed. He's just in control of this run from start to finish.
And I often think you can see people's personalities. He's quite a chilled guy when you talk to him. You can have an in-depth conversation about anything, and you can see that personality in his riding. He's open to any sort of creative lines. He's relaxed, he's chilled, he's smooth. It all is very transparent.
Okay, Dominic Hernler has rounded out the first runs of the super final with an 88. He moves into first position, 6 points and change clear of John Dryling in second. Then down in third, we've got Liam Peacock, 67.66. A lot of work to do. It is all over bar the shouting, and by that I mean we have 1 run left. It is all or nothing for each of these wakeboarders. Kicking off, staying in the same order in which they qualified. So Liam Peacock is up next. What can he do, Dave, to improve this run?
I mean, he has some room for improvement on his rails. We saw at the top on the John Dryling rail, he didn't get that 270 rewind out. He could improve that. But Liam's got some big old hits on the kickers. I'm literally grinning from ear to ear right now with excitement to watch him go down. Nice and tech there, finds the landing ramp very easy. Here he comes in, toe side, backside, 720. So maybe he's playing a little what do the judges want to see here. Or he could have been going 9 on that. There it is, the rewind. Liam Peacock is a machine.
Okay, halfway point in this final run, and it is going well for Liam Peacock.
We definitely have ourselves a final right now. 50-50, goes across, 270 out. So he is most of the way through his run. There is the, no way, Liam Peacock.
Wow.
Double flip down the gap. I cannot believe my eyes. He did not do that in practice, and he gets the chromo 270, 90 out. That was incredible. I am mind blown.
David O'Keefe, his brain is pouring out of his nose right now. I'm going to start mopping that up while Liam Peacock celebrates. The big job right now, though, is for the judges. What can they do with this run?
I mean, this alone, this is what he was searching for earlier. Incredible. So I was wondering why he mixed up the toe back 7 instead of the double flip, and this is why. He just pulled that out of nowhere. He hasn't done that in the last 4 days. That literally just came out of anywhere. My goodness.
I thought he'd got too much extension on the first half of that double because he actually looks like he's under-rotating, but somehow he tucks it up and squeezes it in.
He does. Wow. Liam Peacock, the celebration, we said it before, body language tells true stories. I'm happy for him, and I think he's happy for himself there.
Judges 85.33. It's not quite enough to reel in Dominic Hernler, but it is good enough for second place. So John Dryling down in third. Dominic Hernler currently holding on to the top spot. It is all to do for the professor of wakeboarding. John Dryling, there you see it, needs an 88 if he's going to reel in the Austrian Dominic Hernler.
The emotions on the dock right now, I'd say the atmosphere is incredible. Everyone's buzzing. Liam definitely got the crowd going crazy right there. It's the last 2 riders. It is an exciting time to be watching Munich Mash.
Okay, John Dryling so close to winning big majors. Hasn't quite made his mark. Can he do it now?
Coming in to the kicker. Are we going to see the P5? There it is. So clean again. He's consistent, he's concise, and now he's coming into the rail that he himself designed. 50-50, 270, follows it out with a 270 out.
Okay, we've seen a little bit of a clean-up on that third feature there. What can he do on the way back now, though, to really leave the judges with something to remember?
Well, it's going to be here on his own rail. 50-50, 50-50, going down. Oh, trying to mix it up compared to his previous round, and it's not quite paid off for him.
Oh, under pressure, he's gone down, which means third place is dead set for John Dreiling. Liam Peacock will take second, which means Dominic Hernler is on a victory lap for his second and final run. This is going to be a treat, actually. The man with so much style taking it to this course. This is John Dreiling's run, though, on replay, and it was going so well.
It was going so well. He really had the opportunity, and if it was anywhere he was going to make his mark, it was right here, but just not quite getting onto it, coming off a bit on his front foot with the rope behind his back, just couldn't get away with it. Devastated for him, but at the end of the day, he's come third, and he'll be happy with that.
So John Dreiling pushing his board up to the bank. 81.66, that first score that showed so much promise. He tried to build on that in the second run, but he pushed a little too hard. So, next up, Dominic Hernler is gonna, by the looks of it, forego the bindings and gonna have some fun wake skating.
Bindings? Nah, I don't need them. I think we're gonna see something pretty fun here, but I'm not sure.
Where we're going, Dave, we don't need bindings. Dominic Hernler taking us into a new dimension here at Munich Mash. It is a victory lap for the 2019 winner of the Munich Mash Wakeboard Park final. The Austrian waving to the crowds. Hey! Lawn dart off the top. I tell you what, this pool isn't actually that deep to go in.
I wouldn't have done that myself, to be completely honest.
Yeah, that was pretty courageous move there, but a fantastic way to finish for us, and I think the crowds will agree. One of them holding up the hot sign there. I'm not sure whether that's a call for help or they're commenting on Dominic Hernler's status as a male. So the new champion of Munich Mash Wakeboard Park Finals is Dominic Hernler, and it's fair to say, Dave, he was in a different league today.
The whole way through the contest, he qualified first, he went from the semis through to the finals at first, and then straight away, first run, he laid it down. Dominic Hernler, at the moment, is really creating a good name for himself. He's had a lot of wins, but to win Munich Mash is definitely something he wants on his wall.
Okay, he has that trophy and he is really enjoying this victory lap. He just comes back in after his lawn dart off the kickers. And once he does get back here, we'll be talking to Tuliyevsky. What a dismount, that was fantastic. Smooth. Oh, look at that. A very, very deserving winner. So we can throw it down now to Tuliyevsky, who is with the 2019 winner. We'll talk to him in a second. We'll have a little bit of highlights first. There it is. Oof. I'm not joking, that's only about a metre and a half deep, isn't it?
Well, even hitting the water at that angle probably hurt. He probably kind of winded himself on that.
Detonator. Okay, let's get qualification of the... Look at that. That is perfect position. Russian judge is giving that a 9.6. Right, let's go down and hear from Dominic Hernler.
Dominic, congratulations. You have won Wakeboard Park here at Munich Mash. So what was the last jump you were doing? Is that your special new trick?
Yeah, that's how I usually end my session. Just send it over to kicker with no boots on. Quick belly flop or back flop. It's always fun.
So I spoke to the judges before. They said in order to win, you need to have a flawless run. Would you rank your own run as flawless?
I mean, I feel like that was definitely one of my better runs that I've had the whole weekend. So yeah, I'm really happy with taking home the win.
So what would you say about the whole vibe in Munich Mash?
It's amazing. I mean, Munich with this weather, the crowd's amazing, the park was fun, all the other athletes and sports were amazing to watch, the skateboarding and BMX and everything. So yeah, great weekend. Thank you, Munich.
Well, thank you and congrats.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Dominic Hernler. These are the confirmed results. 81.66 for John Dryling. Disappointment for him dropping his second run. Liam Peacock, that incredible second run is what called him into second place. But it was a consummate first run performance from the Austrian, Dominic Hernler, which has taken out the Wakeboard Park Men's Super Final. Let's take a look back at some of those highlights.
Incredible. So we start with John Dryling. That Pete Rose 5 has been very good to him throughout the rounds. Very consistent, and here he is on his own rail to rail to rail. It's been working so well. Check this 360. Look how his shoulders are still facing the way he came from.
Then Liam Peacock, this was the one that really took the judges' breath away.
Being completely honest, that is one of the most impressive things I've seen in a wakeboard competition probably ever. I got so excited watching it.
And then we finished with Dominic Hernler in the super final. He was pushed all of the way by two brilliant performances, but it was that casual style and incredible tech that took the win out for the Austrian. All that's left to say here is that you can do a cannonball like this into a lake if you can win the Munich Mash finals. Thank you for watching. Thank you, David O'Keefe, for commentating with me. It's been an absolute pleasure. Okay, we will see you next year on the Wakeboard Park finals here at Munich Mash.